research team is also continuously working on like what's going on in the market. So we keep adding the stuff into our course materials and our what I can say value driven courses. Good with that. So that's very important. So let's start, and first thing first, like first let me start my journey. Okay, so what exactly my journey will be and your journey will be, that's important. So that's the first topic rather. Okay, without even starting anything, so let's understand our journeys, what exactly we are going to do with this. So the first thing is my journey. So people who attended earlier demo, I told them about me. Okay, so who am I and what exactly I do. So little bit, only three sentences. My name is Rishi. I am an integration architect for a retail giant. Okay, and I work in Python since 2015. Okay, so now, and I started my career back in 2004. Okay, and I started with .NET and all those things, and finally I landed up into Python, and I just wanted to continue there. And I'm an integration architect now, so I do this what Vimal said right just now. I do a lot of that stuff: automation, integration, transformation. Okay, PY Spark and SciPy and all kind of that weird guy. Okay, who use Python in much detail manner. Good with that. So that's one way of it. That's my journey. Okay, and why we decided to teach. Okay, so that's the another thing. That's why this class. Okay, so before we begin anything, okay, I told you that in the last, but for new people I'm just telling you why this class. Okay, so important thing is when we started Python, when we started hiring in Python area, what we got is whenever we posting jobs like for 20 people, 30 people, okay, and we are not getting enough people only. So forget about getting the developers, we are not even getting the attendance of an interview for those many positions. Okay, so for 3 months the position will be still open, and finally we have to assign some existing people and then load them for a lot of tasks and then get it completed. So we found that there is a lot of lack in the market, especially for acceptance of Python. So whatever awareness you have right now in today's market was not there back in 2015, 16, 17. We were adjusting with existing people somehow and delaying the projects. So what we thought, like let's and there were a lot of YouTube videos and existing courses, but they were like hello world kind of projects. Okay, so they are not going deep in anything. Okay, so we don't want that. Plus they lack in the practical essence. Okay, so they don't have any essence of practical programming. So what we thought is, let's create something which is a practical one with real one, which has some essence of practical programming, like how exactly industry works. Let's combine and connect the dots together and make sure that we get people around industry. And then we started this course probably like 2 years now, almost 2 years now. So 2 years back, and we created a curriculum so that this curriculum is supportive for industry. Okay, not for a college, not for a certification, not for just industry. So for job and job and job only. So if you have any intention other than this, like so my intention is to add Python in your resume and to get an awesome job or career changed or going towards Python. But if your intention is not in align with me, if your vibe is not aligned with me, if you are a college goer, or if you are just trying to explore something which is what I can say for a comprehensive guide, okay, for your PhD thesis, okay, this is not the course. Okay, this is not the thing which you should land at. And I have to tell you that again, right? Because see, I have to tell you what this course is and what this course is not. Okay, that's what it is. So this is entire like why this course is, and the last point is your journey. So your journey along this course will be as an associate, okay, who is learning. So remember that. So instead of calling students, okay, let's call ourselves as an associate, okay, and take everything as a corporate, what do you say, environment, okay. So you are an associate of an industry. You are just going through a program, and finally you're gonna submit your project as what I can say an industry project. Okay, so we and this particular course ends with the industry project. Okay, and that too in research area, so you can actually combine that thing with your resume and make sure that you can specialize that. So that's your journey. So complete the course, complete the project, make sure that you add Python in your resume, everything is smooth and fine, Okay, get a reward from me, and that completes the journey. Good with this? Okay, so cool. So this is about journey. Now let's start the programming basics. So I'll quickly go through what exactly the topics are, and then we will actually go through non-technicals and three secrets. Are you excited to get secrets? If you love secrets, just type I love secrets. These are amazing secrets of industry. Amazing secrets of industry. Anyone? Nobody loves secret. This is amazing. This batch is different. Do you love secret? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, type yes. Yeah, great. So now quickly let's start and begin the complete stuff. Okay, I added few things, just mark it down, and I'm gonna remove something which are not needed. Okay, so just make sure that you learn everything. So quickly, Python basics, what exactly we are learning here. Okay, so this is like computer programming, what exactly it is. We're gonna start this today. Object oriented programming, writing algorithms, and there is an assignment for that, so you have to complete it. Second thing is basics. Okay, this is where we start. So Python required tools, so we will be also setting up one of the tools. So this topic will be, actually I wanted to move this topic here, right? This is more makes sense here, correct? So Python required tools and installation, this is kind of a programming basics itself. Okay, and we started there. Okay, I told you about like installation of Python. Now don't worry about it if you are attending it first time. Okay, I'm gonna repeat the stuff really quickly. Good with this? Okay, then in the basics area, we're gonna start with variables and operators, controls and loops, classes and functions, data structures, and there will be an assignment for this. This is basics. Okay, so every programming language has these basics, so we're gonna learn about Python, like how it works. Now moving ahead, now we go a little deeper. Okay, so we are having inheritance, exception handling, file handling. We have two database operations. One is MySQL, one is MongoDB, NoSQL. Then I'll tell you what exactly MySQL is, and we have videos on it, and NoSQL also. Don't worry about it. Then Python multi-threading, Python unit testing, which is on Python. So this one is video. Okay, so this one is video. This is not a class. Okay, this one is added as a video. Okay. I created a series of it. Okay, so just like 5-6 videos. I created a series. I will be giving it to you. Okay, landing on there. Cool. Then there will be an assignment on it. Okay, so this one is more practical assignment. Okay, so which is like aligned towards industry. Assignment, make sure that, so all these assignment, what these assignments are. So these assignments connects the dot. Okay, because these things are you're just learning this technology as an individual thing, like how this thing works, this thing works. But then how do you connect the dot? How do I use inheritance, okay, and multi-threading and MongoDB and unit testing and file apps, all those things in a single project? How can I do that? So that is connecting the dots. I'll be explaining these assignments, okay, again in the form of videos. Okay, so these are existing videos. I'm just sending those videos to you. It's not on any channel or something. It will be sending it to you. You have to go through that video. My video, by the way, I cannot just give you a single document. But when somebody explains what you have to do, then it actually gets better. Isn't that true? So that's why I explain that. Okay, and then you can actually repeat that number of times. Okay, so sometimes if the problem is complicated, you want to listen that number of times. Similarly, assignments are videos because you can actually listen to it number of times. Cool with this? Amazing. Even this one is video. Any questions up to this point? Okay, can you please give me more detail on Python Selenium script? Selenium, you said. Okay. When you get to answer the next question, how different is this course? I'm looking for course on testing. So yes, let's go through that. Okay, definitely. Let me complete this and I'll come back to your question. Then you have Python Web. Okay. So Python Web consists of Python JSON, Django. Django is a software of web programming software. Okay, which you need. Creating end-to-end applications for Django, and there will be an assignment here as well which will create the application. And finally we have Python for data science. This is the most popular application for Python. Okay, so Python is widely used in this area. But with this, so here you have NumPy and Pandas, and I will give you a quick introduction to data science and machine learning. Now this is not covered in this course. Okay, so this is not covered in this course. I just repeat that 1000 times. So data science and machine learning, people do degrees, 2-year degree in machine learning. right? 6 months dedicated course of machine learning. So this course is not about machine learning. This course is not about data science. Okay, I'm just giving you one introductory video. If you want to pursue that as a career, then you have to grab those courses from either H2K Infosys, or there are other technical universities who will help you to do that. Okay, but yes, people do PhDs in these areas. So yeah, this is just an introductory session, like what exactly it is. But if you want to pursue that, okay, then continue with one more course in H2K Infosys. Okay, and then there will be additional support. So an additional support, now this one is amazing. Why? Because remember this one is like, see, remember when you actually start from this particular point through your journey, 1 2 3 4 5, so these are itself is like 22 to 25 hours of training already done. So to maintain that, what I can say, persistence, okay, continuity in you, okay, if you are able to complete all those 24 hours, this additional support is free. Okay, so additional support is something which is conditional. Okay, so this is not for everyone. So people who actually complete this entire training properly, for them only additional support comes. So additional support in the form of videos which will be sent individually. Okay, and it actually contains Unix introduction videos, HTML introduction course, resume building guide, okay, and there will be a dedicated course on one-to-one interview and mock interview study plan. So this one is actually included for everyone, even if you complete the course or not. Mock interviews and study plan is for everyone with one-to-one. Okay, but you have to schedule that with me, and I will be taking that stuff. Awesome. Okay, so now answering question for Vimal. So what about Selenium with Python? So Selenium with Python needs your first 4 modules. This module, obviously, this module. Out of this, you need inheritance, exception handling, file handling, DB. Okay, you might not need multi-threading. Okay, you need JUnits. Okay, so it's on JUnits. So Python unit testing is on JUnits. Okay, you may not need DB also. Okay, because we generally deal with files. I do that day-to-day basis. Okay, so Python DB and Python MongoDB may not be needed. So let me mark it down. So what exactly things are absolutely needed for Python with Selenium? So you definitely need the basics, 1 2 3 4 5. These are cool stuff. Inheritance you need because we generally extend the classes. Exception handling you need, and file handling we need for data. So this is not needed, this is not needed, this is not needed, this is needed for your journey. Cool with that? Now what else? So if you go ahead, if you look at the below things, you will be able to understand. So Python JSON and Python XML. So it actually has Python XML also. This is needed, and little bit of introduction here. But with that, this package, this itself is not needed. Okay, and from, so not needed means that if you learn it, like, it will not harm you, correct? It will not harm you if you learn it. That's not a big thing. And then finally you need this. So you need, of course, if you know Unix, then it's well and better, but you definitely need HTML. Cool with that? So this is about your Selenium with Python. So before you actually start Selenium WebDriver in Python, you need all these packages. Okay, does that all answer your question? Now I'm going to give you a choice here. Okay, really amazing choice. Okay, just let me know if it works for you. Okay, so now non-technical stuff includes, okay, so this particular class will be every day at 8:30 p.m. EST. Okay, so I'll just write it down. So every day 8:30 p.m. EST. Every day. Okay, including weekends, everything. Okay, what? So speed is your friend here. Once you start learning, speed is your friend. If you leave in behind, you know that if you procrastinate for 1 day, it's gonna happen for 1 week. If you procrastinate for 1 week, then it goes to 1 month. And if you procrastinate for 1 month, then you wait for 1 year. Okay, your learning becomes really slow. So speed is your friend here. Okay, so as soon as you start learning, just complete it down, just finish it down, just knock it down, right? And grab that technology, adopt that technology, and then just go full power in market. It's important. Amazing. Some topics are covered on weekends. So what we do is some topics which are like lengthy topics, like Python with NoSQL, okay, which is MongoDB. So MongoDB plus Python. So MongoDB itself is a new technology. You need to adopt that. You need to understand that. Okay. Plus that with Python, how do we create documents into MongoDB? All those things takes time. So what we do is in weekend we take a long class. Okay. We start at 8:30. We finish at 9:15. We again start at 9:30. We finish at 10:15. So 2 hours probably. But then we'll take a 15 minutes break in between and make sure that topic completes in one day. Not because we have to cover the course. Because I don't want to disconnect in between. If I take a gap of one day, then it will be a gap in the learning, and I find that okay, this is what not actually getting understood by students, and that is not something which I'm reinventing everything. I found that with my batches. Okay, I found that with my students. Okay, this is what is happening. So for that, we take some topics, not all, but some lengthy topics generally on weekends. Okay, where I need more than 1 hour, where I need more than 45 minutes to 60 minutes. Okay, so for them, what we have to do, we have to go through this entire journey. Okay. Then journey is 25 hours plus, so you can easily figure it out. It's not a big thing. The topic itself are 28 here. So the entire journey is 25 hours plus. Okay, so definitely 28. Correct? Recorded videos and materials. Now here is the choice. Here is the choice you have. Now think about this way. I have been taking this training since long time. Okay. And sometimes there are good days where everything is smooth and fine, everything works and the training becomes awesome. And some days are bad days, like that the examples are not really catchy or something. But every training is real time. I never had a whatever recorded videos are only for sharing with the students. But what I did, and that's an exercise I did before this particular batch, is I just figured out or I just created a set of awesome videos. Okay, where it's good day for me and good day for students. Okay. And then had that recorded videos, just properly edited them and just created a set of them. Okay, not for selling to anyone, nothing. Okay, but for the students who are attending that particular topic that day. Okay, so now you have a choice. Either you can get the classes video itself, like whatever I'm saying right now, you can repeat that in video. Okay, as it is, no changes, or you can get a good one, the good set. Okay, which is, and that might be your class as well. So the recorded with awesome edited kind of stuff, okay, with the music and all those things and amazing animation added in between, okay, all that cool stuff. Okay, otherwise this is the real time exactly which is happening in the class. So if you love choice number 1, just type in choice 1, and if you love choice number 2, just type 2. What do you think is better for you? As it is, whatever it is, whatever taught to you, you can revise that. That's what the choice is. Okay, so let's take that choice in hand and let's see. Let's discuss with. Okay, thanks Kalpana, thanks Nirmala, good Mamta, thanks Rashmi. Okay, thanks Mariam. So what I'll do is I'll take these options to H2K and just talk to them if I'm able to do that. Okay, so if edited video is great. See, I definitely know that you are not paying for edited videos. You're definitely not paying for edited videos. That's why it is called as instructor-led training. Amazing, right? This is a technology. The instructor is real. So even the mistakes are real. And then whenever somebody is making mistake or adding the stuff or speaking in a natural language, obviously that adds value. Isn't that true? That's why the instructor-led trainings are higher cost than normal ones. I don't know the cost, but definitely it's higher. Okay, so this is about this, and there won't be an assignment or not. I don't know who added this. Oh yes, I did that. Okay, I did that, and this is for. It's not called as assignment. This is called as industry-led project. Okay, so industry-led project. So this particular project is taken from a snippet of existing project in the industry. And what you have to do is you have to follow all the coding standards, all the learnings, or rather, sometimes you have to add the learnings. Okay, probably you have to learn of your own. That's also you have to do. Okay, it's not like this is the Python and this is the only Python exists in the universe. No, Python gonna actually increase, like it can add features into it. Okay, so I will tell you to create an industry project, industry-led project. You might have to use all the concepts what you use. You might have to learn more concepts and then use, but make sure that you complete this project in 2 weeks. So this is 2 weeks project. Okay, that is completely your initiative. I'm not going to follow, but the person who completes that, okay, I know the change. I know the real transformation is achieved by that person. Okay, so now the time to secret. The secret of getting hired, the secret of amazing career. Isn't that awesome? So these three important things you should have and you must have, okay, for getting hired into the industry. Are you ready for it? Okay, so let's start. So let's start the secrets. So the three important secrets which are must for every associate. Okay, yeah. So the first secret, and you probably know that secret. So what I look for when I hire people, what my company looks for when we hire people, what my previous company was looking for when we hire people is your GitHub repository. How many of you know that? How many of you know that? Your GitHub repository. So your resume should have the GitHub repository linked. And if you have that, you should have Python related stuff in there. So if you are, and even if you are currently in any of the technologies, if you do not have a GitHub repository, you do not have a trace, okay, that where you come from. But with that, so keep on adding stuff in your GitHub repository and make sure that the code is already there. So that's the secret number one, like your GitHub repository. How many of you don't know what is GitHub? Okay, so I'll tell you what is GitHub. So GitHub is where you keep your code. Okay, so github.com creates a private repositories like your personal, just like your emails, right? You get email in your own personal box. This is something like for technical stuff. So for technology trainings or technology code, okay, we can actually keep that in our GitHub. Now that is for repository though. Okay, so let's say Ashok is creating an application of for his own practice. Okay, he created an NGO support kind of application. Okay, Rashmi is working on a banking project. Okay, just a demo project, and she created an entire set of banking classes. All these classes where she'll get in her computer. Okay, what's gonna happen? Nobody knows about it. But she created an awesome what I can say hierarchy of classes and creates a really good coding practices and everything is implemented, but nobody knows. And what she has to do is just tell in that particular resume template that okay, I'm good at coding practices, but nobody knows about it, right? So before even hitting the interview ground, before you're attending the interview, you have to showcase your awesome talent, okay, with showing the classes. How do you do that? By sending them by email? No, you will just give a GitHub repository and if you will go there, I'll show you. So this is not the one that we use in the company. No, don't share any code from the company, Kalpana. If you share the code from company, then they will file a case on you. Okay, it's our personal case. Yes, because you signed, if you remember, you signed NDA with your company, and we do that. It's called as non-disclosure agreement. So whatever you do in that company stays in that company. So it's a personal Git. And how do you create a personal Git? That's a simple thing. I never heard about personal Git. No, it was confused. No, don't worry. So this is personal Git. So github.com, and see this one, I created this for my Java thing. So this is Java Rishi. Okay, we do have one more thing for Python also. Okay, I do have one more thing on Python. We will discuss that once we start this. But this is personal GitHub. Okay, you will add the stuff in here so that people can go in, okay, and people can fetch the stuff. Okay, see the stuff. That's number one secret, the first secret. Awesome. So if you see, this is the value added. Just type value. So I'll get to know that you are actually learning something. Secret number one for your resume building. Value. Is it amazing? Okay. Second secret. Now most of you know this secret, but most of you don't know what to do with that secret. Correct? So most of you know that you should have an awesome, really professional, what? So professional, here it goes, LinkedIn profile. How many of you knew this? Professional LinkedIn profile. I'm not saying that you have to buy that particular product. I don't want to upgrade your product. Okay, but you need to actually look professional in LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not Facebook. LinkedIn is not Facebook. I don't want your Niagara Falls picture there. We want a proper professional attire with a tie and a suit, okay? An amazing smile on your face, and then show that particular photo and then put it there, okay? I want your certifications to be posted there. I want your explanation of that job right there, okay? What exactly you do, and if you can make a video of it, have a video resume. That's a secret number two. That's a secret number two. Anybody else joined recently? Anybody else joined just now? If I saw that Iman, no, you joined. Fine. Anybody joined recently? I got count got increased by a few. Not sure. Okay, anyway. But if you are there, just like we are just done with the Python journey and we are just learning the discussion. So now in professional LinkedIn profile, what I did is like we can help each other. So what is important in LinkedIn is how people recommend you and how many professional connections you have. Obviously, number of connection helps, isn't that true? So what we do is we generally post our professional LinkedIn profile link, okay, in our H2K forums, so that other H2K students help each other, okay, and get a professional link. And also we, as also me, also provide a recommendation for you. So I personally write a recommendation for you. Okay, when you have a professional LinkedIn profile, I will review your professional LinkedIn profile properly. If there are any lacunas, we'll get it resolved. Okay, and I'll write a recommendation for you. Okay, that's topic number two. That's a secret number two. Amazing. And the last secret is unknown, and definitely know that this is not known. This because I never knew this up to last year. In last September, what happened is I was one of the company called as Tech, and I was taking interview for them, okay, and I got to know about this secret. Like when they are hiring people, they are also looking for something else than these two. And do you want to know what exactly is this? So this is a most amazing secret which I got to know. Like technical industries are looking for your, and if you want to grab a pen and paper, please do. It's called Hacker Rank. So this is the secret. This is secret number three. Now people started looking for this particular rank, what's called as Hacker Rank. So now I'm going to show you right now. So what is this Hacker Rank is? So let's go here and say hackerrank.com. This is the website where you want to register, and everybody of you should have an ID there. Okay, I will not promote it more. Okay, so I'm not getting paid for this, but this is good for my students. So what you should do is you can actually go for developers. So for developers, join over 7 million developers practicing coding skills, preparing interviews, and get hired. Okay, isn't that the target? Isn't this sentence explains everybody of us? Okay, so practice coding skills. Yes, we gonna do. Prepare for interview. Yes, we gonna do. Get hired. Of course, we gonna do. Right? So just want to be part of this, guys. 7 million people. Okay. So today itself, what you have to do is sign up and code. So just click here and go ahead and sign up, and what you will get out of it is you get an amazing practice exercises. Okay, once you go inside, it's a self-guided website. You don't want to worry about that. Okay, but you can connect with your LinkedIn profile, and whatever your rank is will be published on LinkedIn as well. It has a connectivity of that. It has a paid version of it as well. Do not go for that. It's okay if you continue with the free version. Okay, so this is the site hackerrank.com. Okay, do you want that in your chat box? Please do. Let's take this. So that actually a good thing to be added. So do you think that that's a value? Do you think we added a value? Yes or no? So these three secrets. So get your GitHub repository, professional LinkedIn profile, and adding a hacker rank or a good hacker rank. Okay, this is actually a good value. Amazing, right? Very important, very important. Before we start, you should know that where do you want to land, right? That's our target. Okay, finding Rancho. I see that. I say that sentence a lot of times. Okay, how many of you saw a movie called Three Idiots? Okay, if you're not Indian, please ignore. So in Three Idiots, what exactly happens in the first scene itself? Okay, so the airplane gets landed, and what you have to do? You watched it today. Okay, what you have to do that immediately. The first thing is finding Rancho. So like at the first class and the demo class itself, I'm gonna tell you what. Where is Rancho? So you have to find that. So this is what you want to find. This is your Rancho. Okay, this is your Rancho. If you didn't find that, if you don't know the movie, that's okay. That's completely fine. Okay, Kalpana? Okay, not everybody. So this is amazing. This is like where exactly you wanna land. Okay, that's called this is called a screenplay. So this is our screenplay of Python journey. So now that's enough of talk, and I hate that particular thing. So let's go and actually learn some technical stuff here. So last session, what I did, and this is being recorded, so don't worry about that. What I did is we actually went and installed Python on our machine. So we're gonna quickly do that for the newcomers, the people who joined late. How many of you joined late? Can you just type late in your chat box? We're gonna install two things. So we'll go python.org, and the second thing we want to do is we're gonna go Jitterbit and install PyCharm. So these are the two things we need. Okay, one more thing we have to go and download is Eclipse, but Eclipse setup will be covering in later part of the course. Quickly, let's start Python stuff. I'm not gonna stop here. Oh my god, see what happened yesterday. In 4 days, what happened? Do you see the change? Do you see it? Everybody knows to see the change? The change is you got 3.8.3. When did you get that? Let's see the list. Because in last time what we got is 3.8.2. 3.8.3 May 13th. May 13th. This is 14th. So yesterday we got a new Python package, and that actually adds a lot of value because we're gonna download the new stuff. Download new stuff. Cool with this? So let's go there now. So if you are doing with me, please do that. If you had any difficulty last time, please do that with me. I'm gonna create a folder called Python on my C drive. So let me go in my PC, C drive, and here I'm gonna. So I already have a capital Python folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna create a folder capital Python or 01. Okay, so I want you to create Python folder Python in caps. Okay, if you're already done that, well and good, and then download this stuff from here. How do you do that? So in python.org here and click on, so in downloads you have to click on this particular thing for Windows. If you're using Mac, choose Mac. Okay, for me it's Windows, I'm gonna use Windows. So click on this and download Python 3.8.3. It's a 25 MB. Okay, this is getting recorded, so please do not worry. It's completely fine. Please do not worry. So I got that particular package downloaded and it's in my downloads now. So what I will do is I'll paste it in. So I copied it, I paste it in my newly created Python 01 folder. Okay, so this is empty folder as of now. It will be looking like your folder only. So you have Python now and you have 3.8.3. So what I'm going to do is double click this and make sure it's get installed. Okay, so we'll follow the journey now. So for me, Python is already there. So it will actually say that upgrade now. So I have Python 3.8.2. Okay, it replaces your existing installation without changing the settings and say customize to review the current options. That's option number 1, or you can actually go for customize installation. So you can go for customize. I'll tell you, I'll recommend that. Okay, go for next. And here I'm gonna say browse this. Okay, I'll go back little. So these are the options: documentation, PIP, all these options are fine. Nothing to worry on that. Click on next, no changes. Create shortcuts, add Python to environment variable. I will do that manually. Okay, not to create shortcuts, nothing. So precompile standard library, that's okay. You can choose this option, there is nothing wrong in it. Okay, what it will do, I will show you that. Okay, now I'm going to browse and keep that in my newly created Python 01 folder. If this is confusing, don't worry. I'll create one more folder within Python 01 and I'll just name that folder as Python 3.8.3. Okay, these videos are recorded, so do not worry. And click on OK. So I get this Python path here. Then I click on install. So what's gonna happen? Python is getting installed 3.8.3 there. Okay, so meanwhile this thing works, right? What we'll do is we're gonna actually go in download PyCharm. Okay, download PyCharm. So this is the website. Okay, so please go ahead and you can do that with me right now. Okay, I gave you a link right there. Okay, go to community edition. So PyCharm is where we actually code stuff. So PyCharm is good for initial development. Okay, it's very good for that. So go ahead and click on download. And plus, we're gonna use two more softwares. One is Sublime Text, one is Eclipse, and third one is PyCharm. I'm gonna try for one more thing, which is VS Code. So this VS Code is not also a hard thing. It's really nice. Okay, Visual Studio Code. So I will give you a brief introduction of it. I installed it already. I already installed it. So I'll give you a good idea about it. So this is like code. It's a VS Code stuff. Okay. So I will give you introduction to that too. Good with that. But these two are most popular ones. So one is PyCharm, Eclipse, and Sublime Text. Okay, and I'll give you a brief introduction about VS Code and how it works and what the different tabs and all this. Good with this. But only one student up to this point. Okay, she told that they are using VS Code for Python coding in her company. Okay, so I'm going to download this PyCharm now. So PyCharm 2020 1.1. So go ahead and put it here in C drive again and Python 01 and paste it here. Okay, so we have these folders. So go back to the installation. See, setup was successful. So Python setup is done now, and close. I'm done. How do I check that? So go to your command prompt. How do you do it? So click on the Windows, type CMD. If you are using Mac, then open your shell prompt. Click on command prompt. Okay, so command prompt will look like this. Okay, you have your user, and then just hit the command Python. So you get 3.8.3, so that is the latest version, and you got it installed on your computer. Now, how do you test whether Python is working or not? You can just say print hello world. Okay, if you want that command, I'll just put it in the chat box. This is it. And how do you get out of this? You just write quit. Okay, your Python is installed now, and you just write exit. Okay, that will get rid of it. Okay, so third is PyCharm. So let's go ahead and install PyCharm. So PyCharm Community Edition. We just downloaded that exe file. It's gonna install the stuff in here. PyCharm Community Edition. My email address, yes. I'll just paste it here again. rishi.ashtokinfosys@gmail.com. If you're stuck somewhere, right? You have to tell me. Okay, Windows will give you a pop-up to allow that particular installation. Say yes to it, and you will get this. Welcome to PyCharm Community Edition setup. Click on next. Now select the PyCharm Community Edition version that you want to uninstall. So I want to uninstall this particular version because I already have it. So I will choose that option. That is good option. So click on next, because whatever coding is, we're gonna do that again. So nothing to worry about that. For you, this option will not come. So these options will not come for you, so don't worry about it, please. This is specifically for removing the previous version of it. So now my uninstallation is complete. Now installation will continue. So here it says program file JetBrains. So browse. I don't want program file JetBrains. What I'll do is I'll just copy the name of it. That's great. Copy and browse. I choose this folder. Which one? Python 01. Okay, that's cool. So Python 01, PyCharm Community Edition 2.20 and 1.1. So this is great. This is great. This is my path, and I recommend you this. Click on next. Okay, now it says create desktop shortcut 64-bit launcher. Yes, I want that. Add open folder as a project. Yes, I want that. Okay, create associations, not needed. Update path variable. Yes, I want that. Okay, so this is a cool options. I wanted to get it by default. I'm cool with that. That's really nice. Okay, click on next. Okay, do you want to add that in your program registry? Yes, you can, definitely. So these are program shortcuts, so that whenever I type PyCharm here, okay, I will be able to fetch that. So yes, that's cool. So click on install now. Any open question, this is a good time to discuss. We can actually discuss things. Now, if you want to have a personal question, like, okay, I don't want to discuss my questions in the forum, but I wanted to discuss with you, with me, then what you can do is drop me an email, ask for one-to-one timings, and we will have one-to-one session. And we do that. Correct? Correct, Rashmi? We do that, right? Yes, we do that. Yes, and that's awesome. So why? Because there are some questions. Okay, I need to consume one REST API. Can I do that? Oh yes, why not? You should do that. You need to have one REST API created, one REST API consumed. You can. Why not? Do you want a quick guide, Rizan? Do you want a quick guide? Am I spelling your name correctly? I will give you a quick link which will help you to do that. Okay, is that okay? If you're just stuck to that particular thing, I can help you with that. Okay, so now, sure, we'll do that. Now I want to reboot later. Of course, if I reboot now, the class will stop. So I want to reboot later and just finish this. Okay, this needs a reboot, so we will be learning that. Okay, real quick. So now let's see if it starts. So first most important thing is you should have this PyCharm community edition folder here. Double click this, and you should have this bin where you have all these installations. Okay, and generally we do not go inside this folder to actually start PyCharm. What you can do is you can go to the desktop itself. Okay, you have a new PyCharm installed and old PyCharm you have already removed. So you are good with that. So you have 2.21.1 edition installed on the desktop. What you can also do is you can just check PyCharm and you'll get JetBrains PyCharm community edition. Now this is wrong. This one is right. Okay, this has got removed already. So I don't know why this is still there. So this one is right. Okay, so you'll be having a community edition 2020. Let me try to start it, although it actually needs a restart, but let me still try to start it. And if I want to show something to you, if I am, there is nothing wrong in that. If I'm not able to, that's completely okay. Okay, so before we end today's session, okay, let us start. Before we end today's session, what I want to tell you, like what are the awesome things we have covered and what are the new things covered for the newcomers. So journey, we covered your journey, my journey, why this class is there. Okay, the basics of stuff. Okay, Python basics, then core concepts, then Python web. What are the awesome things we are covering there? Data science. These are the stuff we are here for. Okay, Python is awesome in this particular technology. So there are 3 to 4 sessions on NumPy and Pandas together. Okay, with what is data science lecture. With this, and there will be an end-to-end application. With this, I'll be telling you how REST API. So this one is actually having your problem solution. Okay, so Python Django, how to create REST API, how to consume REST API. Okay, let's mention it explicitly. Why to actually worry about this? Let's mention it because this is kind of like awesome thing in the market. So create and consume. That's a good thing added. RESTful web service in Python. Isn't that awesome? Okay, this is something which we do on day-to-day basis in our company. We create and consume RESTful web services. We also create a Django-based application services. Okay, so we got this ready, and this is the PyCharm stuff. Okay, so this is cool, and I'm not touching any of the existing project. But if you see this started, your PyCharm is installed properly. So you are good with this. You are done with this. Okay. So please do that. So that being said, okay, one more thing is our secrets are pending. So additional support with Unix, HTML, resume, and one-to-one. You have that here. Then we have non-technical requirements. Just revising that every day at 8:30 p.m. EST, including weekends. Some topics are in elongated weekends, 25 hours of trainings. Okay, recorded videos and materials for you, and industry-led projects for 2 weeks. These are all part of this particular project. And I shared you three secrets. Your GitHub repository is important for your resume, your professional LinkedIn profile, and HackerRank. Okay. So that being said, we are stopping here, and we're going to continue the next session. So if you have anything which you want to discuss with me one-on-one, we can do that. Okay, on one-on-one session. To do that, so drop me an email. Even Rizan, can you please drop me an email? Okay. Okay, so thanks a lot everyone. Have a great journey ahead. Now one thing it's very sure that what you did is really cool. You actually chose career over something else. You could have done a lot of things, right? It's 8:30, come on, you could have watched an awesome movie on Netflix, but you chose your career over the movie or over the other stuff which you can do. So I'm really proud of you. Okay, so that's really great, and thanks a lot for being here. Thank you. Thanks a lot everyone. Have a good one, enjoy your time. Thanks a lot.